Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
Woo!
All right, how's everybody going? As always, I'm Nicholas. I'm joined by Jeremy,
Yo,
and I'm joined by Justin.
Hello. How's everyone going? You mean doing, feeling?
No, I want to
How
know
are things going?
how are, I said what I said, and I stand by it.
I'm usually going by car or by feet.
Still going by Jeremy these days.
Oh, nice. Well played. Well played.
How did everybody how did you guys fare in the ice storm?
It was fucking awesome. I had 2 days off.
Hey, me too. Not the other job. That was still a nightmare. Lots of call-ins, lots of work.
Yeah, I apparently Burlington got hit worse than everybody else, at least according to the news. I was without power for a few hours in the morning. I was without internet for 25, 26 hours, which when you've cut cable and you're just streaming is a nightmare. I mean,
Eh,
it's first world problems. Don't get me wrong. I know.
You enjoy watching a lot of movies and you have a lot in your basement. There's probably a lot you were able to watch.
We did watch a few movies, but I mean, like Wednesday night because when the storm started, like Wednesday night, she fell asleep, and then I was stuck. Just well, I mean, I wasn't stuck. I could have gone down to the basement or put in a movie, but I chose not to. So whatever I could find on the antenna. So, oh man, I was reminded of how horrible it was back in the day of just being at the
Whatever was on.
being at the mercy of whatever channel you could actually get in that day.
Couldn't you just watch something on your phone through your data?
I could have. Well, that's how I was able
And
to at
like
least see.
cast it to your TV.
Well, listen, this is why you need to be over here more often. I didn't even think about that. That
Yeah,
that never occurred to me that I could do that.
I'm assuming you have a smart TV,
I do have a smart TV.
just not a smart operator.
That is, yeah, well, see, this is again, we go back to the statement I made just a few seconds ago. This is what happens when you leave the old people in charge.
Uh, it's fair.
All right. It did inspire me though to find a list of movies that had winter storms or ice storms in them. Um,
All
we have
right.
the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe has that big storm in it.
Never seen it.
Never seen
Never,
it.
okay.
Barely read the book.
How about The Shining?
That one
Okay.
I've seen. The Shinning.
Okay. The Shin. Uh,
We don't want to get
uh,
sued here.
yeah, that is true. Snowpiercer
Oh,
about the train with the
Nope.
okay.
nope.
Um, how about The Thing?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not really an ice storm, is it? It's more of a snowstorm.
Well, Snowstorm. I had to kind of. There's a very limited subset of movies with ice storms in them, or nobody bothered to actually put a list together. So I kind of had to, I kind of had to cheat a little bit just to flesh the list out. Then you had
Gotcha.
ice. Then you had Ice Age.
Yes.
Um, Potentially all of them, but I didn't want to read. I didn't want to read through the list of all of them, and it's been a while since I've seen most of them. So,
How many are there?
um, four or
Never
five.
mind.
There's Frozen 1 and 2.
Nope.
I was frozen today. How about that
Uh,
one?
Yep.
He gets frozen in
Suburban
that.
Commando.
Day After Tomorrow.
All
Okay.
right.
Um,
Coming to a
the
reality near you.
yeah, the Revenant was that Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Is that the one where he fucked the
No,
bear?
no, the bear
Fights a
fucked him.
bear.
Oh, a bear fucked him. Okay.
Fargo,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
and then there's a movie called The Ice Storm that has little to nothing to do with an actual ice storm. So,
Ah.
All right.
but yeah, that's my pop culture list of snowstorm movies. I'm sure there's a lot that can be added. I tried to choose movies, or I tried to list, just keep it to movies that actually had a storm, not just movies that were set in winter. But
Okay.
again, no matter how many different ways you type in movies about ice storms, there's just nobody's bothered to do a list. And I was not about to watch 100 movies in the last 2 days just to find some.
Nice. I feel like that's like an untapped niche you got there, where you should make your website of just movies about random things that pop into your head.
I mean,
Nicholas lists of randomness. These ones feature ice storms. These ones feature this.
yeah, that would require a lot more effort than apparent than I think I'm willing to do. So,
Yeah.
all right, well then, let's jump into the news. Where do we want to start with? Let's start with all right, Lord of the Rings. All of us are fans of the movie.
That one is not.
Fuck no.
No?
That's boring.
Yeah, that's not new information.
Okay.
Jeremy was forced to watch it and he did not enjoy it.
Yeah, we all know how that relationship ended up.
I enjoyed
Well,
the movies, definitely like the third one the best.
okay. Um, I mean, I would say maybe being not in that relationship anymore, you should give them another shot.
It had
No.
nothing to do with the relationship. It was just the
Nope.
movies he didn't enjoy.
Um, maybe don't take a not Jeff Anderson, a Randall approach to the
But he's right. It's just fucking people walking. Like, it's so fucking boring. I mean, I don't understand how you can sit there for 3 hours and be like, oh, epic. Epic as fuck.
Well, that just makes me question your taste and ability to watch good movies. But
Okay.
anyway, they announced that they will be making some new Lord of the Rings movies. They have been
Oh,
very careful to say that they are not remaking the originals, which would be crazy since they're barely 20 years old at this point. Um, but I guess they're in light of the somewhat successful Amazon Prime TV show, they have decided there's an untapped market of movies. I know that Tolkien wrote and Tolkien's sons wrote a lot of books that weren't just those three. So
Did you
how
watch
come
the Amazon show?
no, I haven't watched it yet.
All right.
Have
Guess we're
how
on
you?
come
this.
those
I
guys
say
didn't
we're all
just
on the same page without watching that.
how come they didn't just fly there on those fucking bird things?
There's a very good reason.
Why?
Um, but they don't do a great explanation in the movies. Basically, Sauron
Hmm.
would have seen them coming and been able to destroy them much faster had they come in on giant birds rather than walk in through the back gate.
Okay.
Never see you coming through the back gate.
That's
Nope.
true. Ooh.
All right, so enough of that story then. How about a story that has nothing that will never affect the three of us? Um, because I don't know when, if any of us will be going to the Disney parks anytime soon. But
Okay.
I know I know one of you watched Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah,
watched it.
okay. Okay. Do you remember the little bumpers or the little vignettes of Rogers the musical?
Hmm.
Apparently they've actually decided to do one. And they're just going to be doing it like a Disney park. Like You know, like Six Flags has like those like Beetlejuice musicals or just like
Hmm.
the part of the Six Flags that's not the roller coasters. You go sit in a theater for 20 minutes and watch them sing and dance.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're going to be doing that.
Cool.
All right. I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right then. HBO Max
Hey, that one I know.
will be doing an It prequel.
Hmm.
Um, do we have any interest in this one?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Little,
Yeah. What?
little. I'd like to see what a trailer is going to look like before I make a snap judgment.
well, did it? I know. Did either of you actually watch it, the new versions with the some of the Stranger Things kids and
Yeah, both of them.
That's not the
okay,
first one.
okay. Are you still stuck on the '90s one with Tim Curry, or did you ever watch that one?
Which one was you asking?
Either of you?
Either of I've seen all of them, all of everything. I don't remember the Tim Curry ones as much because I was younger, but I enjoyed the it and then chapter two.
I I really like the new ones. I know some people
Mhm.
didn't like it as much, but I actually think I like the new ones better than the Tim Curry, John Ritter, or all the guys that were in the 1991.
It's the 90s.
I mean, not to say that the 91 was bad. It was just I think that not doing it a TV movie, they were allowed to do and get away, do some stuff that they weren't able to do by just making it a movie for TV. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with an It prequel.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Do we
However,
know like what the storyline is going to possibly be?
no, I mean I've been trying to read the book since I went and saw the movies. I've
Those
been
movies
lazy.
came out like several years ago.
Yeah, I've been basically only been reading when I go out of town. So it's very limited time in which I read a book anymore.
Yeah, me
It's
too. And
crazy.
I never leave town.
I used to read all the time. Now I just, sit down and stare at the TV, frying my brain. I need to get back to reading.
And I
The
expect you to read a book by the next podcast.
That seems unlikely since I'm going to DC for the week to paint a house.
That means you're going to be out of town. You're going to be reading. You just
That
said
is
it.
that is true. I will be taking the book on the airplane and reading. So
Yeah, good. Don't make us out to be liars. It's not what we are on this podcast.
yeah.
We're lots of things, but liars aren't one of them.
Yeah. Never.
Well, in a related HBO Max storyline, uh, a thing that we've been talking about for a while, where there's just too many streaming services, and what's going to happen is that they're going to start buying each other and merging.
Mhm.
Well, HBO Max, well, HBO and Discovery, Warner Brothers all merged into one company, and that's just a giant mess. We talked about that with them canceling the Batgirl movies and like all the other DC stuff. Well, they just announced that HBO Max is going to be rolling into Discovery Plus, and they're going to rename it something stupid. I'm sure I don't have the name of it, but
Discovery BO Max.
I don't think it's going to be that stupid. But basically, yeah. I mean, we've been talking about it since I mean, that with the amount of streamers that at some point they're just going to start buying each other and merging. And this is we we've seen it with some of the other ones, not maybe to this extent, but definitely this will be I think the first of many.
What does that mean with all of our accounts?
I don't know exactly since I pay for HBO through Hulu.
I use
That
someone else's HBO and my own Discovery Plus.
Yeah, I don't know whose HBO you use, nor am I asking because this is being recorded. But I know Jeremy has my Hulu, so he can watch at least whatever HBO puts on Hulu
Mhm.
if he chooses to. I don't know if he what he does. I don't. I'm not an overbearing parent who
Well,
checks and who
mostly
checks
just
Nicholas
the.
jerk off and play video games, but
Nicholas is a helicopter parent. Just
Yeah, I'm not like, oh, what is this?
check it your profile.
I'm gonna check
I
his
don't even
profile,
have
see
that
what he.
password anymore, I don't think.
Okay, well,
Jeremy, it says you were watching this at 2:30 in the morning. Shouldn't you
what?
be in bed?
Yeah. What do you really think you should watch something like this?
That late at night?
But no, I think this is just a sign of things to come. I think it's just a matter of time before with everything that Netflix is doing before Netflix either gets bought out or rolls itself in with somebody else. I mean they're hemorrhaging and they're really suffering right now. Um,
Aw, poor Netflix.
well, and part of it is that they were the first, and it's always, sometimes being the first is best, but if you don't keep up and you fall behind, this is what happens. And then when you're trying to catch up, you do crazy things like start cracking down on password sharing and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so, all right then. Did either of you play that Marvel's Avengers game?
No.
No, I have
Okay.
it. I've purchased it. I have not played it though.
I played it for a little bit when it first came out. I just couldn't get into it. I just didn't really like there was this one level I got to that I was struggling with to get past, and then I just put it down for a
Rage,
while.
rage quit. Never went back to
No,
it.
it was just one of those things
Broke a
like
controller on a desk.
I haven't broke a controller in like 20 something years now.
I try
Since
not to. They're so expensive.
not since like Madden '03 or '04, I think was the last time I broke a controller.
All right.
But
Who was on the
oh
cover?
oh, I don't even remember.
Okay.
Vince Young.
It it might have been. It
Is
would
that
have
like
been
a
for the
02,
it would have
03?
been it would have been for the GameCube.
No, Vince Young would have been after that.
Oh, maybe it was like
I'd
I
say
don't know.
Vince, he came out in 05.
Well, I moved here in '05 and I know I did it in Florida, so that's why I'm saying it was '03, '04.
Okay, because that was the AJ Hawk
May
draft.
maybe
When Vince Young
'02.
came out.
It was
It's a,
Marshall Falk.
it's
Oh,
very
03.
yeah,
Yeah.
very possible it was Marshall Falk. But
That was
I
that had
mean,
a
it's
that
quite
had
possible because I just looked it up. So
well,
that
I'm not
that
saying
had
I
an
mean
excellent soundtrack.
I'm
did
saying
it?
it could have been a
Yeah.
different. I'm not saying that it wasn't the Marshall
Oh,
Falk one
okay.
because I'm saying it could have been that year. It could have been a
I
different
gotcha.
year.
Gotcha.
So
The soundtrack for that year's Madden was really good. I remember that. I used to rent that every weekend from the local video store.
Nice.
if memory serves, that one pissed me off so much I went to GameStop and they were like, "We'll give you $2." And I'm like, "Fine, fuck it, whatever. Just get rid of this game."
Huh.
Um. Anyway, the creative director of the Marvel's Avengers game has apologized for it. Um. I
You
guess
probably should. I heard it's repetitive and bullshit.
it's pretty heavy with the loot boxes,
Yeah.
and that was part of it. Like it was just some of the missions were stupid repetitive, but it was just kind of like unnecessarily. It really was pushing into like just to do the main storyline, having to use multiplayer. And I was like, I'm not interested in this. Like I lost interest in it quick.
Are they
Apparent
giving us any kind of like refund or anything for them being sorry, or they're still keeping all
no,
of our money?
because he did not specifically say why he was sorry.
Hmm.
The article was very, in fact, the article pointed out that he was very deliberately vague as to what he was actually apologizing for.
Well, it looks like the game is shutting down.
Yeah, they're delisting it in September, I think.
Hmm.
So, since you own it, you'll always be able to play it. But
I would like a credit though if they're shutting it down. Give me something back in return.
yeah, All right, then. Then we also have. Hey, do you remember? I mean, this I think happened before we brought PCR back from the dead. But do you remember about 2 years ago, Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot? He ended up not dying, but like they kidnapped her dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Are
she
they
offered.
making a movie on that?
I'm surprised they haven't yet. She offered a $500,000 reward to return the dogs and for information as to who shot him. And then so a lady showed up and returned the dogs, and then they have since charged the lady with aiding and abetting all sorts of. Basically, what happened was her boyfriend and like his friend or like friend's dad, a group of guys that she was heavily involved in, stole Lady Gaga's dogs and shot the dog walker. And then so she was like, "Well, I'm going to try to get this money." Turned the dogs back in, and the police went, "You're under arrest." Well, now she's suing Lady Gaga because Lady Gaga did not pay her the $500,000 reward.
Wow.
Classic.
Um, Part of me thinks that the lady will win the lawsuit because that's how court systems work. But I guess, Gaga was smart enough to put somewhere in the if you weren't involved in it because she originally put like the no questions asked,
Hmm.
but then like I guess was smart enough to like throw on, or probably her lawyer called her. I was like, you maybe need to add because if the guy who did it showed up and was like, okay, well give me my 500,000,
Yeah.
so.
He didn't
But
shoot the dogs.
well, that's true. But I mean, just think about the unmitigated gall to be like, well, my boyfriend shot the dog walker. I'm gonna turn these dogs in, and I should get the 500,000.
Yeah, it's a nice get rich quick scheme.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the way the courts work these days. The lady will probably be in jail with $500,000. You know,
You get the money, but you have to serve X amount of time. Or they'll give it to her in like installments of like $1 a month for the next X amount of months.
she can get it in cigarettes at the commissary.
You get a dollar,
Cigarettes.
you get $1 a year for the next 5,000 years.
So there's that. So that's always fun. But and it just, I mean, what kind of work? I mean, I get like, I don't know. It just celebrities shouldn't have to worry about people shooting their dog walkers because, they want to, although I guess if memory serves, they weren't 100% sure if the people who did it knew that it was Lady Gaga's dog walker so much as that she has Boston Terriers, and those things are apparently super valuable and get stolen a lot.
Interesting.
But
Wow.
uh, but there's also a good chance that because it's Lady Gaga, that everybody knew who that the people who did it knew who they were, and we're just looking for to make a quick buck. So here's a
The top 10 dog breeds most likely to be stolen.
okay
Do we want 1 through 10 or 10 through 1? How do we want to do this?
dealer's choice.
All right, we'll go with 10. Siberian Husky. Number 9 is the Poodle. 8, Labrador Retriever. 7 is the Shih Tzu. 6, Maltese. 5, German Shepherd.
Okay, how are you going to steal a German Shepherd? Those things are
Big.
those things are
Can
big.
be vicious.
Yeah.
4, Chihuahua.
What?
3, Yorkshire Terrier. 2, Bulldog. Absolutely. That'd be what I'd be stealing. And number one is the French Bulldog.
Aw.
Man, I can't imagine what would be going through my head if like I let my dogs out and then like I went to go let them back in and they were gone. Like just like the well, I would kill somebody, quite honestly. Like, I'd hunt the person down and I would murder them.
Yeah.
You
But
know, you,
how do you, yeah, but that's a good point though. Like a German Shepherd, you're just gonna like scoop that thing up.
Siberian Husky, Siberian Shepherd,
German Shepherd.
and the
Oh,
German Shepherd.
yeah.
I have met a Siberian Shepherd. Those things are big, but I mean, those
Scoop,
are not.
scoop them up over your shoulder in a fireman's carry and walk down the street.
I mean, they're not only big, but like, I mean, they're not necessarily inherently vicious, but if you try to grab them or do something and they don't know you, like they're not gonna hesitate. So I don't know how you would steal one of them.
I don't know. I get the little dog. I don't know why you'd want to steal like a Chihuahua, those yappy little things.
That's weird.
I mean,
Same with a poodle. Poodles are, well, some poodles can be bigger.
yeah, to say that when you say poodle, I mean there's like 30 different kinds of poodles. So, are
Yeah.
we talking about the classic white like frou-frou ones? Or, there's a tons of sizes of poodles. Some of those poodles can be pretty big.
Yeah. True.
I'm surprised the Bichon Frise is not on that list.
I don't, I don't know. I'd go with the bulldog though. If I stole any dog, it'd be a bulldog. It's top of my list of dogs to steal.
Yeah. Bulldogs are pretty cool.
I've always wanted one. I'll get one day.
I mean, like I have two, like I've got the Chihuahua Pit Bull mix and then the one that's mainly Chihuahua. And I gotta tell you, I wouldn't want to try to steal one of them either. Like like the one that's mainly Chihuahua, she's she's pretty vicious if she wants to be. Like most of the time she's all, super lovey and cuddly, but like if she doesn't want to do something, she lashes out. Like she's drawn blood a couple times. Like I had some pretty big cuts on my hand for a couple weeks because she came at me.
Oh, you probably started it. Don't blame the
Well,
dog.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I started it because but I should have known. I don't even say I should have known better, but it was, I don't know.
I'd probably steal a French bulldog if I saw one.
That's your
Really,
go. That's your go-to.
yeah, they're cute and they're really compact. Wouldn't even know what's happening. Put a little bag right over its little head. Boom, I'd be out of there in 5 seconds.
Scoop and score.
Yep.
But I mean, ultimately, what I have to say is, like, I mean, if you
Don't kidnap dogs.
don't kidnap dogs, I mean, you break into my house, you steal my TV, you steal my Xbox, you steal basically anything in my house. I'm gonna be pissed. I'll file police report. I'll try to do insurance, but I'm probably never coming after you. You steal my dogs, I will hunt you down, and
If
I
you steal
will.
my Series X, I will hunt you down and kill you.
I, like, I mean, I'll be super angry if you take my Xbox, but like you do something to my dogs, I will do unspeakable, horrible things to you.
All right. I'll check that address off my list.
Yeah.
Some I'm like a Robin Hood though. I steal from pricks. Rich pricks. You don't need this French bulldog. He's mine now.
I'm liberating this dog.
But
Don't kidnap dogs.
yeah, but don't kidnap dogs. Just, I mean, there's so many dogs in the shelters that need homes. Like, just pay the $50 and get one from there.
Yeah, or
Like,
steal one from there. You could
right,
kidnap one of those dogs.
right, yeah. If you feel like you absolutely have to kidnap a dog, steal one from a shelter.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
basically you're adopting it without paying.
yeah. It's a little bit better
Yeah,
than stealing from a.
if you went and kidnapped a dog from a shelter, are they gonna be like, oh, we gotta get this dog back? I'd be like, oh, I finally found a home.
Yeah, they'll be so heartwarmed that
Yeah, someone wanted this
you
dog
won't.
so bad. You know it's going to a good home. They're gonna love it forever.
Yeah, let them go.
Yeah. We've solved it.
All right. Well, I got one. Do you guys want to get a little dirty? Want to kind of get kind
Oh
of
my.
a dark, not a dark,
Fuck yeah.
but an after dark story. I mean, not that we haven't already made a couple of pretty crude jokes about what we do sitting around rather than watch TV or read books, but
Oh yeah.
Just one of us.
do
I
the
wasn't joking.
one of do either of you know who Sybil Shepherd is?
I mean,
Name
I know
sounds
the name.
familiar.
Okay.
Not the
She's
wife from Faulty Towers, is it?
no,
Well,
she
her name is Sybil. I just took a shot. You
Sybil
agree?
Nice
Shepherd was
try.
Sybil Shepherd. I mean, she's been in a lot of things, but in the '80s, her big thing was moonlighting with Bruce Willis. I think she was in Death Becomes Her. She's one of those. I think she was in Last American Virgin back in the '70s,
Hmm.
but uh, but she was a model before she was an actress. She's been an actress for a very long time. Um, but one of the people that she dated, so this will kind of tell you how old she is. She dated Elvis,
Okay.
Okay.
but I guess in the last year or two, she's been giving all kinds of like super revealing writing books and giving interviews where she's just
So she's dying and she's getting all the dirt out.
possibly, I'm not. Nobody said that she is, or she's just got to a certain age where she's like, "Fuck it, here's some
I'm
stories."
going down swinging.
Oddly enough, speaking of going down, so she was dating Elvis, and apparently she claims that she taught Elvis how to do a certain particular skill.
Okay.
All right.
She claims that he didn't really do that or didn't really know how to do that before they started dating. So yeah, Elvis apparently got taught how to.
Go
When was
on.
it? When was this?
Well, he died in 76, 77, so I think it would have been in the 60s.
Okay.
So apparently he was
Interesting.
taught the art of I guess if we want to stay delicate, taught the art of cunnilingus.
I have a hard time believing that Elvis didn't know how to do that already.
Well, maybe he didn't wasn't that he didn't know how or didn't know how to do it well because there are I could also see that there'd be a prevailing thought of like I'm Elvis, you're gonna do what I want to me. I'm not gonna do things to I shouldn't have to do anything to you. You should
So
just do it to me.
Elvis was a selfish lover, you're saying?
Until apparently Sybil Shepherd taught him otherwise.
Interesting.
All right.
I just I thought that might be a
You
fun
came
little
across that information and you were like, hmm,
yeah. There was
this is
something.
noteworthy. Let me do research.
Well, I mean, I didn't say I researched it. I just read the article and was like, huh, odd. Because
Ah,
I guess because Bruce Willis has famously been relatively difficult to work with when he is not happy, and I apparently the moonlighting set was difficult at times because the two of them were on and off again. Whatever. You know. So, all right. Anything? Anybody watch anything this week?
oh man, I always got to think about what I've watched. I don't know if I've watched anything
My
recent.
favorite
I've
part.
I've added a couple of older horror movies from the 80s that are supposed to be pretty bad to my list of things I want to watch.
All right. What are we watching?
House.
Oh, that is bad, but it's fun.
Okay. and then Chopping Mall.
Never seen it. It's on my list as well.
That one I've recently come across these two items that I would like to watch because I had messaged you, Nicholas, about jelly beans.
Right?
And Jeremy, you eat jelly beans?
Mm-hmm. I ate a whole bag the other night.
Were they which ones?
The Starburst ones.
Nah, the sweet tart ones are the way to go for
Uh,
Easter. But anywho, we all are familiar with Bean Boozled
Yes.
and how you can get some nasty, nasty jelly beans.
Oh yeah.
Right, Jeremy?
yeah.
Okay. Well, what I would like to do, this is more of an in-person thing when we get together. I have recently purchased this game of horror trivia, and I would like to play it with you guys, asking you the questions. And for the questions you get wrong, you have to eat a jelly bean from the Bean Boozled game.
Okay. I like that.
So
Okay.
you may get something good, you may get something bad.
Ooh, that could
And
be fun.
some of the questions are a little easier, some of the questions are a little harder. But I figure it'd be a fun game to play when we're in person with you two.
That
All right.
could be fun.
Be good for the podcast, maybe good for Jeremy's YouTube channel. We're cross-platforming here.
That could be a Freaky Film Club episode.
Well, yeah, like one of the questions is pretty. A couple of them they show on the back are pretty easy. Like, what brand of doll did Charles Lee Ray possess?
Oh,
Good guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Name of the demon clown who terrorizes the children in Derry, Maine.
Oh, Pennywise.
See,
Ew.
so like some of them
It's
are
just
easy like
all wrapping in together.
that. Yeah. Some of them are easier. Some of them, well, I didn't open it, but I was playing it at work the other day. Will be like, oh, in this 1958 horror film.
All
Questions
right.
like that, where I'm like, I have no idea.
All right. I
Put
like
your
it.
two
Okay.
horror knowledges to the test, as well as create some content. And I don't know if it'd be like we take turns, be like, oh, it's your question, yours, or let you guys. I don't know how we go about doing it, but we'll figure all
Well,
that out.
we can figure that out.
Mind you have the roly polies right here.
Do you still have the Peacock password that I gave you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I have that, I think,
Okay.
somewhere.
Well, I watched it today,
The
this
Peacock
afternoon.
password?
No, I watched what they put on Peacock today. And I do have to say, I think I recommend it. I quite enjoyed it. They put Megan the Unrated cut up on Peacock this weekend.
All
I
right.
seen that. I was gonna watch that, but I started watching Project Blue Book. That's what I've been watching.
Ah, an alien show.
Yes.
Is that the fictionalized one or the documentary?
The fictionalized one with the guy from Game of Thrones who plays Littlefinger,
Oh, okay.
where it's based on the events. But
But
yeah, it's that one.
I
Stop it.
I will say that there is some overhyping with Megan, but it was still enjoyable.
Okay.
I would recommend giving it a watch. Just I don't quite understand why critics, since they normally hate horror movies as a whole, why they glommed onto this one as much as they did, especially since it's quite a silly concept.
It's
But
okay to like horror again,
I
since
guess
they're artsy now.
right. I guess it's kind of artsy, and they got the girl from what a show. I don't know what show she's from. I think she's from Girls, but Allison Williams.
Hmm.
But I mean there's some real suspension of disbelief for some of the stuff, but
No.
overall it's enjoyable, and I really want to see one of the sequels further down the road, like when they're up to like Megan 4, Megan versus Chucky.
Megan in space.
No, that's like Megan 5, Megan 6.
All right.
But
All right. Oh, the only other thing I just popped in my head that I watched, I did watch that new South Park episode
Oh yeah, me too.
where they make fun of the Royals.
That was funny.
oh yeah, that I have an interest in actually watching that episode. That's the most recent one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on HBO Max.
Okay.
Our privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were talking about that on Bob and Brian, and they were saying like she really apparently was not happy about like being made fun of. But it's like,
Yeah.
Fuck her.
They make
which,
fun of everyone, but they definitely go after her.
well, and basically it just, I think it probably furthers the point that I don't know what point they made, but like her being upset by it for it kind of proves everybody's point that like
Mm.
she has no sense of humor. Like everything that happens to her is the worst ever. Like,
Yeah.
like there tons of other people have been made fun of on South Park, but for her it's a personal attack and it's a racist and blah blah blah.
Yep. Well, it's not even them. It's the Canadian royal family.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
specifically say them.
Oh,
Yeah.
they didn't call her Meghan Markle.
No,
No.
Which
I don't
is
even think they said Megan.
which is funny because like some of the people they have literally called out by name, like when they had like the Barbara
Tom
Streisand
and Tom
monster,
Cruise. Yeah.
and Tom,
Mhm.
and those people don't throw a hissy fit.
Yeah.
Right. If anybody should have thrown a hissy fit, it should have been Tom Cruise.
Yeah. He's too busy being in the closet.
I mean, I didn't really get a chance to watch. I kind of lost entire couple days there when I didn't have the nobody, when you didn't text me and say, hey, you can just cast something onto your TV. You have a phone with internet access. See, really, it's your fault. Also
Okay.
going by Jeremy.
Yeah. That's something I just thought of when you were talking about it. I was like, wait, you could just cast it onto the TV.
So yeah, this is your fault that you didn't text me and say, hey, you know what you can do rather than sit around and just stare at the wall.
Oh,
Thankfully, we weren't without power for very long. But you know what's crazy is that since we've moved into this house, I've lost power more than I ever did when I lived in the fucking trailer.
Mm.
that is crazy.
I mean, you would think, being in a trailer, you lose power all the time. But no, no, I very rarely ever lost power in the trailer.
I think
The
I've
house,
lost power here like once or twice since I've been here.
well, I know one of the I think the first fall that I lived here, some drunk guy wrapped his car around a pole and it took lights out for most of the neighborhood.
Sorry about that.
I mean, I get,
He's changed his ways.
and then I think like a year later, another person got drunk and wrapped around a pole. Like, I mean, I know one of the times we lost power for like 12 hours.
Jeez.
This,
How long was it this
Outages
time?
suck.
well, most of the time that we were without power, I was asleep, so I don't really know.
Mm.
You
I
went into your
know
own darkness retreat.
I did. I know, well, because I have that CPAP machine, so I know like I got woken up right around the time when we lost power the first time because like my machine wasn't working. So I didn't sleep very well because I didn't use it because with no electricity I can't use the machine. But it's been a long time since I slept without it, so it kind of taught me. It kind of reminded me of why I need it.
Makes sense.
So all right, well then,
I have my top 5 quarterbacks. Are we ever going to do that?
Ah, yes, that was brought up.
I want to throw this post-it note away. So can I just name them? All
um,
right, I'm going to name them. Randall
Okay.
okay,
Cunningham, Alex Smith, Ryan Fitzmagic, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom motherfucking Brady.
Alex Smith.
Fuck yeah, man. This isn't the list of best, but the first happens to be the best as well. But Alex Smith, I mean, he's a comeback player. He's got a good story. He's actually pretty good at broadcasting as well. And yeah, I wanted to kiss him.
Oh,
Scratch that last part out. I didn't say that. Just his skills on the field are wonderful.
all right. Let's see my top five: Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Hmm. Neil Lomax,
Who the
and
fuck is that?
he played for the Arizona Cardinals back when they were the Phoenix Cardinals.
Okay.
He probably wasn't any good. And then
Born in 1959. Played.
Jake Plummer. I always had a soft spot for those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jake Plummer.
Oh, I liked Jake Plummer. I know he wasn't very good, but I liked him. That was
Right.
also when I was a Cardinals fan. Back when before I was a free agent NFL fan.
Well, I don't really put things in order because I never really put things in 1 through 5 order. But Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Michael Vick. I know not a lot of people like him, but his play on the field,
He did his time.
yeah, his play on the field was something special to watch. I'm trying to think of another one. Drew Bledsoe was up there for me.
Okay.
I like Bledsoe.
You're gonna
Maybe
get canceled for saying Vic.
maybe honorable mention to Shane Falco.
Who's that?
Oh, the replacements.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. I know a lot of people don't like Vic, like what he did outside of football aside. Just watching the things he would do on the field. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was fun to use in the old Maddens. I mean,
He was like a cheat code.
yeah.
I get canceled for saying we like Brett Favre too,
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not Peyton Manning. Steve McNair probably would have to go on that list.
How to say? Did anybody say Randall Cunningham?
I said Randall
Jeremy
Cunningham.
Okay,
did.
Randall. For some reason I was like, wait, did he say Dante Culpepper or did Randall Cunningham?
God, Dante Culpepper.
But yeah. But yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, there would be. I mean, obviously, if we had to come up with top five greatest, a couple of those would also be on the list. Again, I know that if I was coming up with top five greatest, Neil Lomax and Jake Plummer aren't even in the top probably 50.
And your other one. Don't forget the other one.
Oh yes. Guys, it was so dark in there.
Do we
Scared.
have do we have any news on how the darkness retreat went?
No, I know it, I believe he came out early. He didn't stay in there for his full 4 days.
Hmm.
Did you hear the
Did
reports on the room size or anything like that?
No, I didn't hear. I just did he see his shadow?
I guess. So there's like 6 more weeks of inconsistent reports. I think they said it was like a 600-foot square room that had a queen size bed, a tub, toilet, and a yoga mat.
Yeah, they were having a real field day with that
Yeah.
on Sports Center and all the other channel
Oh, I'm sure they would.
things.
Every reporter has their like exclusive. I talked to a Packers insider that tells me the Packers are done with it. They're tired of all this BS, and they're just gonna straight cut him or trade him. There's no way he'll ever be a Packer again. And then other ones are like, no, he's coming back for the Packers at least one more year.
Yeah.
Like everybody has to have their hot take so that they can say they're right.
Nicholas, what's your hot take?
I gotta think that they are gonna do whatever they can to trade him to the Jets or the Raiders or the Cardinals. You know,
Cardinals
the,
don't want him. They have Kyler Murray.
yeah. Well, I mean, come on now.
Granted, he's hurt.
I think they're gonna do whatever they can to trade him. And honestly, at this point, if the Bears called me, I would listen to them. I mean, I would hate to see him come back and play the Packers twice a year, but if the Bears, given what they have with the number one pick overall, and then another couple first round picks, and then trade us, a couple first round picks, especially number one overall, I'd listen. I For the number one pick overall, if you wanted Aaron Rodgers, I would probably do it. Maybe not a straight one for one trade, but
Jeremy, where's your stance?
You stand.
Is that what you want, or is that what you think?
I think he's staying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been on the boat to trade him for the last like year, 2 years. I still think we need to move on. To where, I don't know. Possibly Oakland, New York, Tennessee could be a possibility.
I don't know.
New England, Tampa.
I guess it
Yeah.
just depends on how hardcore they are about the no NFC teams, only AFC.
I mean, you can't cut out an NFC team.
Well,
Like if
they
Tampa calls and they're like, "We'll give you 3 1s and 2 2s," you got to be like, "All right."
well, that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, as much as I wouldn't want to trade him I mean, granted, I really don't think the Vikings or the Lions will call because they're set. But if any of those three teams called,
I don't think the Vikings are set with Goff
you mean Cousins?
or the Lions are set with Goff. The
I
Vikings
mean,
are set with Cousins.
but if any of the three division teams called me with a draft package or a, a trade package like you just said, I'd listen. Especially at this point, maybe 5 years ago, I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here! What's wrong with you?" But after the last 2 years of dealing with all the off-season nonsense and all of that stuff, just if some team is willing to pay that kind of price to get him, done, make it happen.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
So I imagine we're on a countdown clock here. Then you got to get going, or
Beep, beep. Yeah, pretty soon.
okay, all right
So
then.
see, all you need is love.
Um,
Oh,
What? Give love a chance?
I like it. I wouldn't mind.
we're gonna talk about the Beatles now. What?
Could be.
All right then. Let's say if you've decided that rather than sitting down and realistically talking with the team about options and trying to work through your personal differences, and you've instead decided to take ayahuasca and go into a dark room, just remember, stupid never walks alone.
Woo.
All right.
Comic books have been around for almost a century, and in the last 2 decades, we've finally gotten to see many of these characters brought to life in movies and on TV. On the Moving Panels podcast, we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. Join me and my guests as we discuss both the good and the bad from Marvel, DC, and even some of the lesser-known comic book companies. Learn what is and isn't from the comics, as well as our nerdy review of the movie or show. New episodes drop every Monday, and you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. So join us for Moving Panels, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to an 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-hosts to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.